with my eyes. You'll be like, so
okay,
anyway.
hey, everybody can hear us and see us now. If Jason dies, we're just going to keep going with the show, everybody.
Hooray!
Hi, everybody.
We're professionals. We just keep
Are we
going.
live on
We're
on
live.
YouTube
Yes,
now?
everybody. We're live on YouTube. Everybody can see us and hear us.
We're
no
good.
more cussing from me. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Dana, enough with your sailor
Mouth.
talk.
Filthy
your
mouth.
Filthy sailor mouth.
Yeah. Damn it.
The rest of you can cuss all you want.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ensign's Log Live. I'm Jason.
And I'm Steve. And who's next?
I'm
And
Ananda.
those are the women. Come on. Thank
I'm
you.
Dana. I waited till last since I am no longer a regular.
Those are the females. We just don't.
I hate that more than anything that Ferengis
More than
do.
anything? Seriously?
Here's the
I mean,
thing.
I think that too, but that
I
is...
think it's so funny that the most misogynistic race in Star Trek refer to women as exclusively as females.
Females.
And so do incels.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, it's aspirational. I guess they want to be Ferengi.
Exactly.
So it's proof that they can learn things.
I'm
What,
sorry.
They didn't know the word female before?
I literally just did a spit take. I've never done that on purpose in my life.
Was it a spit take over the concept that they could learn things? Is that what you found hilarious?
That was literally what that was.
What a funny joke. So, okay, everybody watching us live, this is a Q&A. So if you have any questions for any of us
putting
or
them
all of
in
us,
the thingy.
ask us about the show, ask us about Star Trek, ask us about whatever you want. And you know, I mean, if it's something really personal and inappropriate, then we'll just not answer it. Or better yet, make up a completely bullshit answer for it.
Or we'll mock you on top of all of that.
Indeed. We did have some questions that were submitted ahead of time that maybe we can start with.
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
These were
right.
okay. So this first bunch of questions that were submitted ahead of time were submitted by our friend Air One Fire, who is actually with us in the chat, but he wasn't sure if he'd be able to make it for the show, so he sent in some
lied to
questions.
us.
He's a liar.
lied to us.
He's a liar.
He said he wasn't sure. He didn't say he wouldn't.
He said, "I swear on my mother's eyes, I won't be at the live stream." And now here he is.
Who's lying now?
Yeah. Anyway, so
His mother
Your
already
eyes are
didn't
watering.
have eyes. How about that?
So here are the questions. And there's one for Ananda, there's one for me, there's one for Jason, there's none for you, Dana.
There's a very pointed one at me.
A very point. Actually, it is kind of. Okay, for first of all, for you, Ananda, our newest member of the cast, the question is, how did these dipshits find you?
I asked her. She was a Patreon patron.
I'm
and
sorry.
then
I'm sorry. Isn't your name Jason?
I'm answering the fucking question.
He
Okay,
answers for the
Amanda,
females.
that's
He
right,
answers
because
for the females.
I answer for the females. Go ahead.
No, just what Jason said. I won't elaborate further. No,
Go next.
I found them. So I was a patron. I was a long time. I started listening to the Ensign's Log, I think sometime in the pandemic, and loved it. Just thought it was hilarious. And I was actually a $10 a month member the first time you announced that somebody could go on the show. And no one called me. No one cared. No one did anything. So I was like, fine. And then the second time you announced it,
You had to volunteer. You had to tell us.
I was like, I guess I'm not wanted. And then I emailed you. And then after like 4 months, it took us to like finally get a date. I was on, and that was it. I originally honestly just thought you wanted me there to fill in when Dana was absent, but here I am. So
No, I asked you to join.
I can tell you, and you might know
right
this
after
already,
your guest.
but
Actually, during your guest, I think right after. Yeah.
Yeah,
as
right
soon as you during that recording, your first recording with us, like as soon as you were gone, Jason said, "I'm asking her to join the show." So I mean, it was. Yeah.
And you were like, God, no, whatever.
Not another woman.
Steve started
Another
crying.
female.
I did. I started crying bitterly.
She reminds me of my mother, and then just
Oh,
fell down
oh,
on the
boy.
ground.
Thank God that's not true. Yeah, but yes, you've been a wonderful addition
Okay, ask
to
the
the
next
show.
question so I
yes.
can answer it, Steve.
Okay, well the next one is for me,
Yeah, great. I can't wait to answer it.
but you can answer it for me. Okay, so the question for me from Air One Fire is, what character development would you like to see for your character?
Herpes.
Well,
You
I mean,
already have
here,
that?
Probably, or at least has had it at one point. I mean, it's the future, so hopefully there's a cure. You just get a shot.
Nah,
Oh, look.
Now you got robot herpes. That's the thing.
You got robot herpes.
Oh man. Well, who would I have caught that from, Benarba?
I'm not saying anything.
It happens when you get splinters of metal stuck in your dick.
Here's the thing. Here's how I approach the show. And I guess you could consider it character development, but I don't really think of my character in terms of character development. I think in terms of bits. If I think of something funny for him to do, then I try to find a way to work it in. And that's really about it.
Any development I really kind of nudge you towards.
And yes, in terms of like long-term character development, and that's true for all of us. I mean, Jason really is, not to kiss Jason's ass too much, but Jason really is the creative force behind the show. I watched
it specifically for that person, for that reason.
Too much.
Okay.
Too much. I don't know if there is such a thing.
but like, so if I think of like I have a couple of bits in my head that I would like to try and work into the show at some point this upcoming season. And I won't say any of those because I don't want to spoil anything. And also I might not get to do it. And then people will be like, like, where's the bit where he grew where like his I don't know, his ass started talking to him. I mean, like, we didn't get to do that. Why do we have that
body parts talking all the time?
We didn't get to do that, so I don't want to disappoint anybody. But like, I do have a couple of ideas for what my guy could do, but I don't know if I'd really call that character development. It's just, if there's a way to fit this in, I'd like to do this. In terms of character development, I'm really happy the way he's gone, just because it's the essence of an improv show. We just keep adding stuff. And the nice thing about playing the version of me on the show is he never learns. Like, he's had all of these, just ridiculous experiences that would be life-changing for anybody else. But he's always basically the same guy. And I think we've been able to turn that into something funny as opposed to making it seem like we're just keeping him static, Okay, Jason, here's your question.
Okay, you get to answer this one.
Okay, I'll answer.
I'm answering this one.
We're all
let Dana do
it. Dana can answer this one since Dana didn't get one. Do you plan on having any more adventures or interviews with wacky characters? Those were always my. It's a long question. Those were always my
favorite. Yes, I'm answering the question. What do you want?
You said I could answer it.
Okay, you answer it.
Dana. Can I finish reading the question?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Air One Fire. No, those were always
his closest friends both said no.
No, I said no to Steve, and then yes to Air One Fire.
Anyway, yes.
Those were always my favorite part, especially the season-long adventures with Spot and Evil Jason. But the last 2 seasons were mostly you guys sitting in a room talking, while even your own stories mostly happen in the background. Spot returned and had barely anything. I don't want to be overly critical. I love the show. I think it's hilarious. But also, I find the story kind of boring because of the recent format. The season finale was fantastic. Do you have any plans for season 8? Now, before we answer, since Air One Fire was in the chat, I'll go ahead and ban him.
Don't ban him.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know how, because it is improvised. I just couldn't find a thread that would lead us through it. And here's the thing, that kind of has a little bit to do with fucking Deep Space Nine. And that's because there wasn't a whole lot to Deep Space Nine yet. I do have a lot of plans with the founders, with us getting off the station, doing interviews again with people that I drag into the cantina. We have shifted it so that it is mostly in ponchos and not necessarily in someone's quarters, but we are going to be traveling a lot. I'm not sure how it started that we were just kind of static and we're just kind of in the same place and people's adventures were happening elsewhere, but that's gonna change. That's definitely gonna change. We're not going to be we have the entire Gamma quadrant now, or Delta quadrant, whatever quadrant it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Gamma, yeah.
To explore a whole bunch of made up fucking races that we can interact with and established races that we can interact with. That'll be fun. But yeah, that's all going to change.
So don't let it go to your head, Air One Fire. But
No, but let what go to his head? It was already in the back of my mind.
Now the whole creative direction of the show has been altered because of this one question.
How? I have told you. Okay, I have told Steve what we have been turning into.
Yes.
Is it's always sunny on Deep Space Nine.
Yes.
That's what we've been turning into. You've noticed that Amanda and Steve have gotten progressively stupider as we've been going forward.
Yeah.
And now we have the ability to do stuff outside of the
Yeah.
I don't think he's not as dumb as Charlie. He's more like, who's the other guy? I can't remember the other guy. I can't remember the other guy.
I can't remember either, but yeah.
I think Amanda and Steve, like in a shuttle in the Gamma Quadrant, is going to be like the best thing possible because they're just going to ruin everything along the way.
There's going to be a lot. Now that they've kind of gotten past their whole Bajor, and I don't give a fuck. I love Deep Space Nine. I don't give a shit about Bajor. I don't care what happens to them. I don't care about their politics. I don't care who the fucking Dalai Lama is on Bajor. I don't care.
The Dalai Lama. And see, it's nice. It balances out because I don't give a shit about the Dominion War. So, it creates a nice balance.
The Dominion War is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to leave on the Defiant. And
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that the other day when we get to that point because your character is still
anybody
in Starfleet
who can get under Cardassian's nerves more, it would be Steve.
Yeah. Or Wayoon's nerves.
I mean, it's
Wayoon's nerves.
Yeah, actually, Dana, the episodes that we're watching together now on our watch along stream on Wednesdays, like so. When we get to that part of the Ensign's log, I guess my character will be stuck on Deep Space Nine while
Not
Jason
necessarily.
is off.
We can figure out a way to get you off the station if we need to.
We'll be making
staying.
Fighting naughty karate against Cardassians for 6 weeks or whatever.
I thought you were going to say for fun.
I've been kicking around the idea that for her intel, she becomes a honorary secret ensign.
No, you have to make it a secret lieutenant just to be.
Oh, just to kick Steve in the teeth.
Just to kick me in the teeth, just one more time.
So here's the thing: Steve is currently a quadruple, whatever number of agents.
A multiple secret agent. Yeah.
Right. And we're also going to be playing. We're going to be playing into that more too.
Yeah.
So.
I got another email question, but first there's a couple of people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Coyle said, "Can we get a few Forrest Gumpitude episodes?" And then Code Monkey said something similar. I found recently there's a little interaction with the series plots, meaning like the actual show, the Star Trek show,
where we did that a lot in the first 3 seasons, where our actions led to things that were happening on Star Trek, which has gotten a little bit more difficult simply because the writing got better. When they were writing Star Trek, they really weren't thinking about, we're creating a world, all these things are they were kind of making shit up as they went along, which left a lot of plot holes that Steve and I can exploit. Now we kind of have to manufacture our plot holes, but I would still like to be able to make it so that things that happen on Deep Space Nine are a direct result through the actions of our characters. And I think that's what you mean by Forrest Gumping it.
Yeah.
You'll notice that a lot of our characters are getting, like I said, Amanda's gotten very dumb in the last year. And I don't think it's because she's gotten very dumb. It's just that we've gotten to know her. Because originally she was going to be another antagonist to Steve. And I said, I don't want her to be an antagonist to Steve.
Yeah.
In fact, I want the two of them to gang up on Jason. I want them to both be kind of idiots. Because that's what we had with Dana. Dana was very, it was Dana and Jason against Steve. And I like the fact that Jason, who's got his own problems, has to contend with these two people. Has to contend with these two people. And that, I think, is a better dynamic than everybody's up against Steve.
And I think Jason is funniest when he is put upon. When he is in the situation of he's the smart one in the group of idiots.
When I am on my back foot, that character's funnier.
And I think Steve is funnier when he feels like he's in charge. Or he feels like, or he's got like a scheme going, or he feels like things are about to just, everything's about to go his way.
That whole thing, Jill, when you guys were talking about these fucking statues at Poncho's, and you guys didn't hear me at all through the entire thing about how it was a bad idea for there to be 2 nude statues of you shooting soup out of your dick. And I'm like, this is what you guys want.
I think
go ahead.
I was gonna say, just even as a listener, like I completely agree with what you both said. I think that it's funny because Steve is so overconfident, and to have somebody else who's bolstering him up and agreeing with him and like encouraging his worst behaviors is, well, Jason, who is, because Jason already has like 7 times the strength and the brains and the
but you wouldn't know it by the way he acts, because he's never had it, so he doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, but
that's why he never says I could beat you up.
Yeah.
Because he, even though he is 7 times strong, he is so used to not having that kind of power that it just doesn't become, in most fiction, the nerdy guy who gets the power turns into a tyrant. But in this case, he gets power, he gets, physical power, but because he's spent his entire life as basically the sidekick to the strong one, he just forgets it's there. And he doesn't use it. And he doesn't use it as a threat. If Steve got it, that might be a little bit different.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah.
I want to get a couple more questions from the chat, and then I'll ask this question that I got pre-submitted. We already kind of covered Amanda getting stupid so quickly. Erwin Fire said, how did Amanda get so stupid so quickly? Did she get the Steve Johnson disease?
Let's put it this way. The more we got to know her, the more we realized that she's pretty dumb.
Yeah. Well, and I think like the idea of her and Steve kind of bouncing off of each other and making each other worse because each one encourages the other when they have a terrible idea. Like, I think that's a lot of it. And that comes from the improv too. Like that just naturally happened in the improv. Like, we just kind of did that, where you would, up the ante with an even worse idea. And I'd be like, oh man, yeah, that's a great idea.
I think it's, I think I was just going to say, I think it kind of started, like we started with Amanda as like hyper competent, like she was going to run the bar and be like, the force behind everything. And then she's just been slowly degrading like over time,
The only thing she's really good at is fighting. And that boils over into her overconfidence. So she thinks she can do everything else. But some of it is
like she was going to run the bar, and she is more competent than Steve. It's just, that's like a really low setting.
I was going to say, like, even at this point in the show, she still seems way more competent than Steve. Just,
it's
in
just
general.
Like that's way down there.
Like if between the two of them, if you wanted someone to take charge during an emergency, like it's definitely going to be her.
You look around and go, oh no, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
It's like the last 2 people chosen for kickball, and like it's like Steve and Amanda, and they don't know who to choose.
Looking around going, do we have to take them?
Can't we just play with who we've got? Okay, Code Monkeys asks, will we ever meet the mirror universe versions of all the characters?
Yeah.
Ensign
is lousy with the mirror universe.
They have so many fucking mirror universe episodes on Deep
I know
Space
they
Nine.
do.
I wouldn't know.
Oh God.
There's going to be a mirror universe, Dana.
Do we need to do one like every fucking year? I would
there's going to be a mirror
so,
universe, Dana, and apparently in the mirror universe, all the women are dominatrixes, so she's going to be a dominatrix. Some weird, pervy dominatrix that wants to have sex with herself.
Like all women in the mirror universe,
That's
except for Amanda. Apparently.
I would like to point out that's not necessarily weird or pervy. Just depends how you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or who you're trying. She likes packlets.
You said yourself.
Travis Coyle, this refers to you, Dana. Will there be a way to have Tina back on the show? Maybe Dana can pre-record her lines since she hates her fans now.
See, I take exception with that use of the word now.
Oh my god.
Oh. Well, yeah, because you did leave the show and you did make it clear.
Cut her camera. Cut the camera.
You did make it clear. You made it clear to us in private, Dana, but we can go ahead and say it in public now. Like, it was 100% you were tired of the fans of the show. That's why you.
That's right. You hated everything.
I'd been tired of the fans of the show, you know, for years.
You said,
I mean,
I'm tired of their bullshit. I'm tired of their
Good
fawning
God.
compliments.
Cut her mic now.
No, I mean, Tina is not a regular character. And
Not
also,
ever.
she's not a member of Starfleet, and she doesn't have to remember the name of the food thingy.
I like the fact that she referred to it as the food thingy.
The food thing. I mean, I call it the magic food hole. So, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But also you're consistent about that. Whereas, like, I will refer to something that I'd referred to in the past a different way, and you just have to figure out what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't. And then you're like, remember when we had this storyline that this thing happened to you on the show? And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing. Like, my brain does not hold on to Star Trek stuff. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to read the novelizations or something. Maybe if you can
don't ever do that.
We'll get you some technical manuals. You can read the Star Trek Encyclopedia.
Ooh, do they have charts? I love charts.
Star charts.
They do have. Yes, they do. You can. In fact, you can get books that are nothing but like fucking star charts and technical.
I have the
schematics.
first manual for the Enterprise D.
Yeah. See,
it was gifted to me.
Yeah.
And I've read it. I don't know how many goddamn times. That's
They
how I knew that there
published
were
all of that
whales
shit.
on the. That's how I knew they had cetacean navigation because it's on the charts.
That's where that came from. It was a joke that they put into the the blueprints of the ship. Yeah.
I don't know if it was a joke. I think it was legitimately they wanted it at some point, and then they never developed it.
They were completely serious when they put.
It's like, how are we going to do this?
Sorry, Dana, what were you going to say?
Well, I was thinking earlier, I think that's part of like the backstory that's never been explored. Is, the first lines, space, the final frontier. Not one of the final frontiers, but so what that tells us is, like, at that point in our future, we've completely explored the oceans, which I find so much cooler than the whole space thing. And it's like, the problem is, that's not what the show.
Here's what I want. I want to know.
I want to know.
Go watch Sequest if that's what you want.
Star Trek at
when
all.
was the oh shit moment that humans realized that dolphins were intelligent and had language and could actually fly in a fucking starship and navigate? When was the oh shit moment when someone went, wait, what? Did a dolphin write with his snout on the tank some sort of advanced mathematical equation?
It wrote no kill I.
No kill. You know what it was? I know what it was. It's the fucking Vulcans.
Oh shit! Sure. Somebody like
some Vulcan mind melded.
High-fived the dolphin in the face, and and they were like, "Oh, they have complex thought." And everybody
the dolphin
was like,
hit on the
Vulcan.
Vulcan.
The Vulcans are looking at the humans like, you know this?
They said it directly to someone who was eating one.
Planet
what?
And you didn't know this. Ugh, humans.
Okay.
Air One Fire asks, what is Amanda's fighting power level? Could she beat up Khan, Kirk, Worf, those 12 Jem'Hadar in that one episode?
I think Kirk for sure. Okay. Khan would be difficult.
Khan's enhanced. He's pretty
that's
strong.
like Jason. Jason can beat up Amanda, right? Like in the tier. Worf.
It depends when, because there are some versions of Worf that, I mean, she could just.
Where he's nerfed.
Deep Space Nine Worf would be a lot tougher than TNG.
I think
Worf.
Amanda, because I think we mentioned in just kind of passing that Amanda practices with Jadzia Dax, like they fight each other, they work out together. So I kind of imagine her as kind of like on her level, so she could probably kick Worf's ass, but like
I think you're stronger than her. I've seen pictures of Terry Farrell. She's not that strong.
There you go. So okay,
I
so
never really believed. When you watch her with a batleth, you're like, she's got a little noodle. She's got model noodle arms. How is she?
So you're drawing some
Klingon warriors.
She's not a human. Her muscles are just much. She has more tensile strength per strand.
I don't remember them saying that about the goddamn.
You're inferring from a photograph of the actor. how strong the character in the
Not just the
make
actor
believe sci-fi
watching
show
them
is.
fight.
And I think as far as like the Jem'Hadar,
was
I mean,
going easy on
Jason, yeah, Jason might have your own idea about it, but I think Amanda would give it her best. Okay. Like she would be
Sure.
like warfing it out, tapping the button, even if she was getting her ass kicked, like she would still keep going.
Is that the metaphor you're using? Is the slow death of Worf when he's captured by the fucking Jem'Hadar?
I mean, she would keep going.
Okay.
She might die, but she'd try.
All right, fine.
Travis Coyle says, I'd love to see guests come into Ponchos and complain about Quark or talk to Dr. Macius 8.
Yeah, that's stuff we're going to expand that out. And we're going to have more guests, so we're going to re-up when the season starts. If you want a guest on the show, you know the rules. Be a $10 donor and let me know.
Give Jason money.
Mm,
Buy your way onto our show.
Ananda.
Yeah, don't forget to tell Jason, like a lot.
I want to
need
be
to
on the
tell
show.
Not a lot.
And I
Every
mean,
day.
I am all for more Dr. Macius 8 on the show because I mean, I legitimately came up with him in the improv. Like, he's my character. I don't play him on the show, but I came up with the idea for him. And like every time
I kind of took him away from you. Yeah.
Well, no, but I love the direction he's gone. I mean, and I kind of use that to feed the character because like the way Dr. Macius 8 has gone in the show was not at all what I imagined when I came up with him. So I just sort of push that into Steve, the character, because, he and Jason often have these tense exchanges where he's like, you're the one who, made him sentient and, upgraded him. And if there's any problem as a result of that, that's your fault. I just wanted to have like a fun robot to have at the bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he is a hilarious character. I think the idea of him is hilarious. I love the thought of an old-timey sci-fi robot on a Star Trek show because Star Trek really never did that. Like Star Trek, even in like TNG, like they didn't have like there wasn't like a Robbie the Robot like type robot. They were all human androids.
I know where he winds up.
Where?
Ooh.
Oh,
I know where he winds up and where your fucking girlfriend winds up.
I want them to get married, which will be weird because he sees her as a parental figure. But we can just
remember, if we're following the Star Trek timeline, eventually all androids are made illegal.
Ooh, do they end up on Mars?
I want him to. Yeah, he's
That's
the one.
Dr. Macius, he's in one of those ships. Eat liquid death. And he's like,
destroy all flesh.
He's why the Romulans are afraid of androids.
That's right.
He's that like weird robot tentacle monster that they almost summon at the end of Picard
you mean that
season
thing
1.
from fucking that video game?
Yeah.
It's like, from Mass Effect. Jesus.
The we didn't think this through villain of Star Trek of Picard season 1.
We needed a thing.
We didn't really think about it. Clark Wilburn says, this is more of a, hi Matthew Datcher just showed up. This is more of like a Star Trek question than specifically an Ensign's Log question.
Okay.
But Clark says, my question, if it is following your rules, which it is, do you think Strange New Worlds should choose to dramatically change Captain Pike's TOS destiny?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
It's part of it. It's who he is as a character now. I mean, if they it would be a cheat if they decided, well, I know what it said in the series where he goes off to that planet and fucks that girl for the rest of his life, pretending that he's restored to whatever, and he doesn't get damaged in that explosion. But it's an intrinsic part of his character now. It's like he knows what's up ahead. In fact, they addressed it in, I think, season 2, where he had to meet his future self.
Yeah.
Who's like, yeah, you should probably, not avoid it.
It would get way worse if you try to avoid it. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's value in saying you can live with a disability and have a good life.
There's
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely. And also, I think a lot of people who, sort of are hoping for that. I mean, on the one hand, it's a good thing because it means they love Captain Pike and they don't want to see something bad happen to him. And that's good. But at the same, and I love him too. Like, I've made entire videos about how much I think Captain Pike is just an awesome character. But I feel like you have to draw a line between what would be good for the character if they were a real person and what is best for the story. And I have never heard anyone explain to me how having Captain Pike not have the accident would be better for the story. The fact that his character is tragic, the fact that he knows he has this terrible thing coming up in his near future, and he still chooses to go out and to try and help people and to explore the universe.
Besides, it's all right. We already know that Spock and Splunk save him, so
right. But like, so I mean, honestly, I think a lot of the people who are saying, but you know, they could save him, they could have him avoid the accident. They're just soft little babies.
Didn't they just hear what I
They're
said?
soft little babies. They're soft little babies, and they need to grow up.
There's also not just like for us, it's kind of spoilery. So I could see having it happen that things don't play out the way he expects them to, and he goes through the situation that he thinks is going to disable him, and he comes out the other side and he's not disabled. And then he's left with the question of, because I think that's a more interesting part of the character, is how is this going to happen? How am I going to deal with it? What's it really going to be like for me? Sure, I've met that version of myself and they've said this, but that's not my experience. So this phase of the character where there's that uncertainty is part of what makes this character interesting. And so if he goes through that experience and it doesn't pan out that he's disabled, then there's that question of, okay, does that mean it's okay now? Did I avoid it, or is it going to come? I mean, like Code Monkey says, that's classic Greek drama. In classic Greek drama, you try to avoid your fate, and then you end up.
And it happens anyway.
So it's entirely possible that he avoids it this way, but then it comes and smacks him across the face in another direction. And so he's like, or is it just going to come out? And he's sort of always wondering, always watching, which I think could also be interesting from a storytelling point of view. So I think there's also the case to be made that, yes, if we know this is what's going to happen, that's kind of a spoilery part. And I'd like to see something different happen just to see how he reacts. So I could see that. Yeah. But I do think for the most part, I agree with you. I don't want to just, I think it's really boring if you just keep characters from experiencing anything negative. That doesn't make for good story at all. As we see on the Ensign's log.
You can't coddle the character. Like, it's like, if he's one of the
but then you end up with crappy story.
I mean, it's nice that he's the hero of the show, and it's nice that the fans love him and are protective of him, but that you can't let that influence the storytelling.
Right.
I mean, the most important thing is to make the show good, not to make the soft little crybabies in the audience happy. You know, it's not a show for children. Okay, a couple more questions from the chat. A couple of suggestions. Arcane Flame says, changes Pike's fate. The beep chair has text to speech instead.
Here's what I don't want to have happen. Right before his accident, someone walks up and says, "Oh no, you have erotic syndrome. Unless you burn off all the skin from your body, you won't live." And then he has the accident and it burns off all the skin on his body.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, no, don't do any of that. Just, I mean, you know, now that we know that the show is getting 5 seasons and then that's it, because they're shooting season 3 is about to start coming out. Season 4. They're shooting, and then a couple of weeks ago they said, "Oh, and by the way, we're officially greenlighting it for season 5, and then that'll be it." So we know now how long it's going to go. I mean, I don't know what their plans are for the last episode, or even if they have that locked in yet, because we're still a long way off from that. But I mean, that's the most perfect natural endpoint for the show, is that, you know, you end the series kind of right before the point where we know the accident is going to happen, and it's Pike sort of going off to meet his fate with his head held high. I mean, there's not going to be a dry eye of anybody. Like, that's the most beautiful ending you could possibly have to your Star Trek show. And it's like, why would you fuck with that?
I just
You
kind
know?
of hope that it's not like him in a beep chair riding off into the sunset. You know what I mean? Like I hope it's
Rolling
not like
off.
Beeping off into the sunset.
right. Like I hope the
Yeah.
last
Let's
episode
hope
is
it's
a
not
tragedy.
3 seasons of Pike in a beach chair having adventures.
Why
Although I
not?
mean, that could be the animated
Good.
that could be the animated spin-off that takes place after the actual show ends.
Sure.
That's the Saturday morning cartoon, the Beep Chair Adventures.
And wheeling his chair is Tina, the android, who's
Hey,
like,
there
you
you-
know, has gotten her consciousness moved
There
to
you
an
go.
android body. But
There you
know.
go. Also, Travis reminds me, Voyager did have an old-timey robot in the holodeck episode where they were playing the Captain Proton.
Yeah, but
yeah.
that was
That
not
was-
a real robot. That was
No,
a dude in a
that
suit.
was- Well, but he's from, and that was actually, it was, I think it was one of the robots from, it was the costume was from an actual serial from the 40s.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was. Maybe like one of the Commando Codys, maybe.
Mhm.
But yeah, so yes, in a holodeck there was an old timey robot in a Star Trek episode.
Right.
Somebody asked, John Collins asked me a question completely unrelated to anything, but I'll answer it. How extensive is your pro wrestling home media collection? Not super extensive. I have if you see in the background of some of my videos, you see like my DVD and Blu-ray shelf in my living room. It's most of the top, maybe the top 2 rows of that. So, I mean,
I think the rest of us can go ahead and just leave.
no, that's about, no, I'm not
Steve's
going to go
talking
into
about wrestling now.
I'm not going to go into. Oh, and somebody else asked if I watched Saturday night's main event last night. Yes, I did. Okay, end of
See
wrestling
what I
discussion.
mean? We're just it doesn't
No. That's
No,
it. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll call you later, Jason. Okay.
Okay.
Travis asks, did Jason have to remove all the ramps he put in for the wheelchair lady?
Yes.
Oh, she's gone now. You can get rid of those ramps. We don't need
Thanks,
it to be
wheelchair
accessible.
lady.
We don't need it to be accessible now that the one person who uses a wheelchair is gone.
So we have. I just want to let me just in character. We have gravel lifts. We don't use wheels anymore for fucking anything. We have gravel lifts when we need to move cargo, when we need to move anything. We couldn't have taken a couple of those things, stuck it on a belt, and stuck it on her so she could float around and do her work. No, we had to install ramps at every single junction in the goddamn station, and then she still complained about them.
You know what though?
What?
I'm glad to hear you talk like that. You know why?
Why?
Because now you're sounding 23rd century.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about this before. Since we arrived here in the 24th century, I feel like you've kind of been assimilated to these newfangled 24th century values. What happened to complaining about shit like we always used to back in the day?
That was mostly you.
That's true. I guess maybe I'm just happy that you're doing it now too.
Yeah, great.
Suffering, sure, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Splunk, you know all of those fucking lifts with the ramps we had to put in? Yeah, time to take them out because she's, I guess, changed her mind or some bullshit.
Gotta pad those hours somehow. You know?
Yep.
And you see her come in and she's like, weeky, and it's like, what the fuck is this? We don't have I mean, come on. How come she wasn't in a beep chair? Like Pike.
She can talk. She doesn't need the beeps.
Half Dalek motherfucker. Anyway, next question. Steve.
your dear friend Captain Pike, half Dalek motherfucker. Why don't they just chop off his head and put him up on a shelf somewhere? It's the only part of him that still works. Like Futurama.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay, let's add. Here's the question that I got earlier this is from one of my patrons, Matthew Wyatt.
Okay.
Who says, will the charming Simon ever make a comeback?
No, Simon's long dead.
Yeah,
Simon died when we traveled through time.
Simon was TOS era, yeah.
Unless I could, you know what we could do? Grandson of Simon.
Simon the Third.
There's a terrifying prospect. Simon managed to get someone pregnant.
Steve's mom. There's another.
Oh
man, my mom is just pumping out kids, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
She can't help herself.
Amanda rebounds from Tom Riker with the grandson of Simon.
Oh my god, I don't want to do that to your character. It's bad enough you're paired up with loser Riker instead of Alpha Riker. You're like you've got like beta
Beta
Riker.
I love that, like, in that episode where they introduce Tom, they make it clear that, like, there's no difference between them. They're the exact same person, like, physically. But yeah, but we all pretty much universally agree that Tom is the loser. Like,
Amanda would disagree. Okay.
well, that's true. Okay,
Oh, sure.
well, maybe, yeah. Well, I would hope so, unless she's knowingly, like, wasting her time on a
She's
stiff.
fantasizing about Will Riker, like she's with Tom Riker.
Oh
Like,
my
you know,
god.
I mean,
That would be messed up.
she's like, if I call you Will in the heat of passion, I mean, that is legally still your name, so you can't get mad.
No, he
Like, what?
legally changed his name to Thomas.
Did he change his birth certificate, or does he
He
just
had
have
to.
people call him Thomas?
Okay, there's got to be a weird shit department at Starfleet.
The Splunk protocol.
And when weird shit happens and Starfleet needs to make a decision, they get a message that says, oh, by the way, the first officer on the Starship Enterprise has been cloned by the replicator and he's been alive for 17 years. We can't kill him. What do we do with him? And I think the first thing they do is change his name to Thomas. That's what he says he's going by. He's going by Thomas, so he's changed his name to Thomas.
Okay, and so you think they legally changed his name?
Yes.
Okay.
How can he be in Starfleet if his whole name is exactly like the other Will Riker?
They do IMDb rules, and they just put a little 2 in parentheses after it.
Oh my god.
That's what they do in IMDb when there's 2 people with the exact same name. They just put like a Roman
So when
numeral
he
2 in
steps on board a
parentheses after the
ship,
name.
He goes, "Hi, I'm Will Riker too."
No, he refers to himself as Tom. Like,
Yes.
he refers to himself that way, but that doesn't necessarily mean he needs documentation.
Right. His records say William Thomas Riker, parentheses 2.
No, he changed his name.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Shut up.
Okay.
You
No,
don't
they
know
put
what
the
you're talking
Thomas
about.
in parentheses. They put the Thomas in parentheses so we know he uses
Your
that
fans
name.
must love me. I'm just, oh, look, he
Shut
got on
up.
here and he told Steve to shut
Oh
the
my
fuck up.
god. I mean, if our Star Trek reviews are any indication, there are certain people in my audience, like, you get a little smart ass with me, and they're like, I don't know
They
why
take it
Steve
really
has this guy
personal.
on.
Steve's a
Why-
precious angel, and you can't say that to him.
Why does Steve have this guy on? He's so negative.
Steve's a precious angel.
Yeah,
I know.
They have
I
no
know.
idea how I talk to him when the microphones aren't on.
Exactly. Fuck you, you piece of shit. You're lucky I
Listen,
asked you to
Steve
be on my
loves it.
fucking
He-
podcast.
He's like, more.
Contribute nothing. I can have anybody come on and quote unquote improv by just doing shit that I tell them to do. You're fucking nothing.
That's how Jason asked me to be on the podcast.
That's
too.
right. I said, hey, you piece of shit.
That was the pitch. And he called you personally, which was weird. He's like,
Yeah.
I know. I went over to her house. I knocked on the door.
Mhm.
hey, you
I was
piece of
introduced
shit.
to her husband. I said, hey, where's that piece of shit you're married to?
Where's your
And he
piece
said,
of
right
shit
this way.
wife?
And I said,
I've
okay.
got an offer.
I
While
knocked
I'm
her
cooking
kid over.
dinner.
I knocked her kid over. I ate food right out of her fucking refrigerator.
Just taking
Fuck
food
it.
right out of the fridge,
I'm a just
dropping it
complete
on the
monster,
floor.
and then I kicked their dog to death before I left. I said, I'm recording on Sunday.
Kicked the dog to death.
Bunt.
Mhm.
Not just kicked it.
If you're kicking a dog, kick it to death.
You
Don't
took
do
the
half
time.
measures. If you're angry enough to kick an innocent dog, just finish the goddamn job.
You kicked the dog to the point that it expired.
That's right. Just like that nun. Can we
Joke's
have the
on
next
you.
question, please? I'm getting angry.
Okay.
So
Everyone
cranky
fire
all the time.
I know, I
On-
can't help it.
on the
It's the
subject
fucking
of
weird health things that I keep having.
Simon. Air One Fire says, "How do we know that Andorians don't just live 7,000 years?"
That's true, but I don't know if they do. Do they?
Well, we just make it up. Who gives a shit?
Isn't there
I'm
something
looking it
about,
up.
something improv, something?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just make it up. Fuck it.
You know me and canon. If it
I
exists somewhere, I
know.
need to find it first.
I know.
The men live to be 129 years old.
Thank
there you go.
you.
That's
There
very
you go.
specific.
So technically, he could be very old.
He could just be
Mhm.
really fucking old.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The oldest Andorian ever.
Mhm.
Arcane Flame wants to know, will Plarb ever return?
He
I
will.
hope so.
He will. Plarb will return, but in the mirror universe, where he's extraordinarily smart.
Oh, I like that.
In the mirror universe, all Packleds are like super geniuses.
I
See,
would
that's the
love-
kind of... Yeah, go ahead.
No.
And also,
Go ahead.
because we've established on Deep Space Nine, you see him. Quirks is lousy with Packlets.
Mm.
And so I always figure, Plarb's going to be perfectly fine on Deep Space Nine. And with no loyalty to Steve, he only hangs out at Quarks.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
But also the reverso, I like the reverso Plarb being extraordinarily intelligent.
I love that idea. I also love the
Yeah.
idea of like Plarb running into Banarba at Quarks.
Well, I wish that the actual shows, when they had done more Mirror Universe episodes, had leaned more in that direction of, like a Bizarro world type thing where, in this universe, the Packleds are all geniuses. Because, like, the thing that I think they lost sight of when Deep Space Nine kept going back to the Mirror Universe over and over again is they lost sight of the fact that it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke universe. And I mean, there were some funny stuff. Like they did some funny stuff in the Deep Space Nine Mirror Universe episodes, like with Garrick and Worf and, but for the most part, they were trying to get you invested in like a serious story. And I'm just
they
like,
dulled the edge of the mirror universe. The thing about the mirror universe is that humans are bad. And then when we start going back to the mirror universe, it turns out they're good again. Or they're trying to free themselves from whatever. And I'm like, unless I missed my guess, the Terran Empire was a horror show, and we shouldn't be celebrating the fact that humans are trying to struggle to get back in power. And all it really demonstrates is everybody in the mirror universe is a piece of shit. Humans, the Jorans, everybody. So, fine. Packlets are going to be super geniuses.
I love it.
With mega technology that no one can touch.
they're
going to be like one of the old ones from Babylon 5.
From Babylon 5. Where the ships are just like orbs of light.
But they're still going to talk exactly the same, but with an echo.
Oh my god.
Hi, it's me. Lobo. We're like omniscient and stuff. What do you want before we destroy you or whatever? What do you want?
Code Monkey says, what role could I play in a $10 guest slot? Maybe Crowdy, the German engineer, to explain my accent.
Well, that's his thing. We don't just come up with them. We work with the people who make donations to determine what it is they like. And if they don't have an idea, I'll provide them with one. It's like, I don't think it was ever Amanda's dream to be the naughty karate champion on the show, but that's the character we came up with for her.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of evolved that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's like, I know Jason and I's main characters are both very, very similar to us, at least in terms of personality. And that helps in terms of when you're doing an improv where we get like a direction for each episode from Jason.
I would say the only thing that's similar between Steve and Jason is that they're best friends. That's about it. I don't want to be anything like Jason on the show.
I'm not like the real me. I mean, just in terms of like our interactions and just our sort of overall manner. I mean, yeah, I would like to think I'm not nearly as egomaniacal and thin-skinned and obtuse as the guy I play on the show. But I mean, in terms of the experience of like sitting across from a table and having a conversation with him is probably not that different from having a conversation with me.
I mean, I'm dumb as a bag of rocks, so,
Well, no, here's the thing. I think the main thing is that everybody has areas where they're not that knowledgeable. Jason isn't great with interactions with people. He's not terribly good. He has a very small group of friends. For whatever reason, he got along great with everyone on the Enterprise. But for the most part, he has a hard time making really close friends. That's why Steve is his only really close friend. Dana was related to him, so that was just kind of a thing. And Amanda's just kind of there. And he'll eventually become very close friends with Amanda, but it takes time for him to develop relationships. Yeah. He's still a cringing little fucking coward for the most part. I mean, he does things if he needs to. The thing about Steve is that when Steve wants to have heroism, he doesn't shy away from it. I mean, he went out and rescued Jason when he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
He didn't hesitate. He wasn't scared of it. He turned to... It's annoying things that Steve tries to avoid. And I think with Amanda, her big blind spot is the fact that her and Steve are very similar when it comes to the bar. And what it is they want to do, because neither one of them are very smart about business, I think, is the main thing. Dana just left us. She abandoned us.
Well, I was gonna tee up Dana to say a little something, because I know, like, back when you were a regular on the show, and just talking in terms of like how our characters are like our real selves, your character, and specifically like the way you interacted with me and Jason, I thought there were times where you were like very, very close to your actual personality, especially in the terms of how you like sort of you parse things very finely, very specifically. And sometimes that, if you really latched onto something like that, could bear very, very funny fruit.
Yeah, you know? that it's pretty easy to play that for laughs. I don't, unfortunately, have the beautiful, delicious muscles of Drax, but I do, however, have that delightful precision.
Delicious muscles, you say?
I'm telling you, my man is stacked.
So you're not a fan of Dave Bautista now that he's lost weight?
Has he lost all of his muscles?
No, he's still in shape, but he's not like all bulked up and jacked up like he was.
I'm guessing he probably still has more than this.
Well, probably.
Haven't seen a recent picture. I'm just gonna guess.
You should see him in. You should see him in The Last Showgirl.
Huh?
You should see him in The Last Showgirl. He's really good in that.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, it's fun to play with language and to especially because Steve gets just so annoyed at those little things. It's fun to niggle at that. So.
And that's another thing that I think is drawn from real life, because I
like annoying you.
Well, no, because I mean, when we were doing the show regularly, I could sort of lean into that as a source of humor, because like usually there are times when you and I are talking, just the two of us, and you'll like, the way your brain works, sometimes you'll like latch onto something that I just think is the most irrelevant detail in the world, and to you that's the most interesting thing there is, and I'm just like, fuck, like, can we talk about what I was trying to talk about? Yes, and you're like over here. Yeah.
I don't care about what you want to talk about. I care about this. Let's talk about this.
It's like what you said earlier about, the inferring from, they call space the final frontier, which implies that the oceans have been conquered, and therefore, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, and if I was my character on the show, that's exactly what I would say. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But as me, my real self, I just think that, and I don't say it.
Yes, you do, apparently.
And I remember when we were part of the show. And...
No.
More questions. Ask us more questions. We're running out of questions.
We're shooting for a very strict 1 hour for this one.
We're doing 1 hour? Okay.
I'll make the announcement.
Okay. Jason, didn't you have one on your Patreon? Did we get that one?
Yeah, we got that one.
Okay.
I've been in and out of the hospital. I am having bouts of dizziness and unsteadiness primarily on the right side of my body. So I can't really do these things for too long. They don't know what's going on with me. I'll update everybody. I'm having my thyroid ultrasounded tomorrow, but they still don't know. I've had MRIs. I've had, every kind of body scan. But it makes me tired quick. And so just to let you guys know, this one's not going to be 3.5 hours. I'm not going to cut into Dana's nap time. So, and you'd be happy about that. But let's get the questions.
Yes. So we'll wrap up in a few more minutes then if we're going for an hour. But yeah, if anybody has any shooting for an hour. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
You and me, we're going to have it out.
Are we going to have it out?
Yeah, we're going to have it out.
People are going to find out that we don't really like each other.
I'm going to find out pretty quick when I send that mail bomb. Anyway.
Hey, I'm recording this and I will pass this on to the federal authorities. It's going to
say, open this on your
scary
screen.
Lady knows.
Yeah. So a couple of people were, a political gamer said, I want to play a Klingon therapist. And then Arturo said, I see your Klingon therapist and raise you a Ferengi therapist. My question would be, which one of us would be going to therapy and why would we go to see either a Klingon or a Ferengi?
A Ferengi therapist would just be, well, your problem is that you're not making enough profit. Make enough profit and everything's perfectly fine. I'm like, yes, but I think I was born the wrong sex. I don't have an answer for that. But if you make enough profit, you can always change it. See?
Wouldn't the Ferengi therapist just tell the patients whatever they thought the patient wanted to hear so they would keep coming back?
And paying them?
And yeah.
But if you tell them exactly what they want to hear, they'll think they're fixed and then they'll come back.
Yeah, they need to be strung along a little bit longer.
That's right.
Okay, good point. So make them think that they're broken, but that you're somehow helping them. So
I think it's getting better and that success is just within reach.
And I think a Klingon therapist is basically just physical abuse and yelling.
I don't know. I think after Amanda gets dumped by Tom Riker, that, she could go to a Klingon therapist. No problem.
Okay.
Straighten her out.
Just straighten shit out. Yeah. Just fight each other.
Your lover is in a Cardassian prison and will die. Get over him. Drown your feelings in a tankard of blood wine.
Exactly.
Because Klingons only have one drink.
The answer for every single emotional question that anyone has is find something and kill it. That's it.
Just beat
you would feel much better if you found something and killed it.
Take out your frustrations on an innocent being.
My mother made me feel inadequate as a child. Find your mother and kill her.
Or find someone who reminds you of your mother.
Similar is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Similar is okay. Oh, Travis, that's right. They do have Warnog. So there's blood wine and Warnog.
There you go.
There you go. And isn't there some kind? And isn't there like a Klingon tea ceremony in TNG in season 2? And like
nerd.
The tea is.
I don't know, nerd. What is?
And I think the tea. No, remember it's that scene with Worf and Pulaski where Worf walks in with like a tea tray and he's like, you did me a solid before, so I'm going to give you Klingon tea. Only you can't drink it because it's poisonous to humans. And Pulaski gives herself like the antidote and then says, "Now give me some of that tea, big boy." And
did they fuck?
It's strongly implied. It's strongly implied that they fucked. Yeah.
Okay.
Steve just made that up.
See, that's what I think season 2 is better than people think. Like, where else do you get implied sex between Worf and Dr.
an elderly woman? Yeah, it's great.
And she wasn't elderly; she was middle-aged.
She rocked his world. I bet she did.
She rocked his world. You're damn right she did.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he didn't want to date human women after that. He made it sound like he was doing it for their protection, but the truth was, after Pulaski, he was afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Questions, Steve.
Any more questions?
I think there's questions in the chat, isn't there?
I think I've gotten to them all.
Mostly best wishes for your health and stuff.
Mostly
like that.
best wishes for your health because you.
Thank you.
Because you pandered for sympathy and people are.
I did not pander for. I let them know what the fuck was happening with me.
I'm kidding.
God help
I'm
you when
kidding.
you get sick.
That will never happen. Ha 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 ha.
You'll be like calling me, Jason.
I don't know what's happening.
I had a growth removed from my toe. I'm old. And I'm like, oh God.
I had a growth removed from my toe. Air One Fire says, boys, which male Star Trek character would you fuck first? Girls, which female Star Trek character would you fuck first?
Ugh.
I mean, I feel like the answer for me is pretty obvious. So go ahead.
But yeah, everyone knows who you would fuck. Everyone.
The guy who I have a picture of on my wall for a shoot. He's like, yeah.
The one that has the weird kiss marks around it? Sure.
Don't.
The weird
That was-
stains.
That was just between us. Don't.
Between you and the portrait?
The guy that I have a fucking picture of in my wallet.
Okay, so we started a live stream to
Oh
record
my
the
God.
podcast, and Steve was on his tippy toes kissing something. I don't know what it was. I made an assumption.
You have a picture of him in your wallet?
Yes, he
Didn't
does.
didn't I show you this before? Yeah.
No, I've just seen the portrait. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
He
awesome.
tries to use it to, well, he's never taken an airplane anywhere in his life, but he would try to use that in security.
Will Riker here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to my starship. Yeah, they let me through quicker that way if I said that.
Yeah, to answer your...
Cisco.
Cisco?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, there you go.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
There you go.
if I had to choose.
For me, it's easy. It's Jadzia Dax. I love her.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
I take that back. Pike. Pike's more approachable.
Ooh, and Pike, I can only imagine a generous lover.
And I'm trying to figure out who's going to be a better cook. I think I would like Cisco's food better.
Oh, that
Everyone
start a
could
fight.
just be humoring Pike about his food, but we
Oh
don't
man,
know.
You could have
God,
a
I would-
cook-off.
I would love for that to be like a late series reveal. That like in like the second to last episode, you just kind of drop in the hint that, oh yeah, Pike's actually he's an enthusiastic but really shitty cook, and they're all just humoring him. That would be amazing.
I don't
He's the only
remember her
person
name.
that has a kitchen in his quarters.
It's just for
What, Dana?
practice.
I don't remember her name.
Well, who describe
What
him.
does she look like?
Well, yeah. What does she do?
From TNG.
Troy,
You're
Nope.
gonna have to
Anna?
narrow it down more.
Brusher,
Nope.
Is she a
Pulaski.
re-
The
is she
dead
is she-
one? Tasha
is she-
Yar?
No.
Is she
She's
a
a
regular?
regular.
Or she's a okay, well,
Lexana
there's-
Troy.
Isn't she the one who runs the bar there?
Oh, Guinan.
Guinan.
Guinan?
Dinah. Yeah. I
Okay.
figure she is well versed in various skills.
That's true.
She knows
Okay.
what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh
I would
yeah, and
think
if I had to
so,
choose
yeah.
a second, Uhura, because I think
Oh,
she's
sure.
fan dance. Oh yeah,
And she's naked all the time, according to
Yeah.
our
she's very comfortable with her
That's-
show.
body.
She's constantly naked.
According to our show, she just walks around naked in her quarters like
Mhm.
all the time.
Yeah,
Max would probably be my second.
They need to incorporate that into the Uhura on Strange New Worlds.
just have her walk around naked.
No, they need to incorporate the fact that she knows how to nude fan dance.
yeah.
Well, they should have, since it's a prequel, they need to show her learning how to do it, because that way it explains how she knows how to do it in the movie.
I don't need them to explain how she knows how to do it.
She's taking fan lessons. And
My
she's-
least interesting
She's like reading,
part
looking
of
at a
all
book.
prequels is seeing how someone learned how to do something.
But don't you want to know where a character's favorite coffee cup came from?
No,
We'll see where Riker learned how to scramble eggs.
no.
Yes.
What the fuck? I mean, what?
I want to know. I want to
He
know
was
if
reading
Riker
through
was
an
banned
ancient
in
cookbook
school.
and went scrambled eggs. I wonder how that's done.
What'd you say, Dana?
I want to know if Riker was banned in school.
No, I was just going to say,
For
I'm
sure.
willing to bet that he was, considering he plays the trombone.
right?
Uh-huh.
What I was going to say, his life is saved by a trombone player as a child, and that's why he becomes a
Why?
trombone player.
Why not? His father goes, "You're going to learn to play trombone. Shut the fuck up and learn." how
No,
to
that's
play
not
it."
That's not prequely
And then
enough.
when he went to school, all the kids teased him and beat him.
That's not prequely enough.
No, there was an alien who saved his life, but it was a shapeshifter and it turned into a trombone, saved his
Mhm.
life.
And he fell in love with the alien. The only way he can now express love to the alien is by blowing into the alien's butthole that is
Yeah.
turned into the embouchure for the goddamn trombone.
Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time he
it's-
plays the trombone, it's
Oh,
actually
your
live
embouchure is
sex.
your
Embouchure is
lip.
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
255 AD says, oh, by the way, Albert Burge with
And
another.
also, how come when he plays
Yeah,
the trombone, his cheeks don't blow out
'Cause they don't.
Like Dizzy Gillespie.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that that's a little bit of character development that I really love. The fact that like you can tell in a couple of different TNG episodes when Riker is playing his trombone that the other characters are humoring him, that they're really not into it, but because he's their friend.
He shows up at every goddamn birthday party with that goddamn trombone.
I love that so much. And actually it was one of my favorite jokes for as much as I didn't really like it in the third season of Picard. There's that little bit where it's revealed that they don't really like Picard's wine.
Yeah.
That's like a running joke.
Yeah.
It's a running joke through that season that I really appreciated. Like, like Picard's wine is the shits.
Bottles and bottles of the fucking stuff.
It gives them the shits.
It gives them the shit. 255 AD says, do you think it seems quaint that people were saying the TOS crew were too old in the late 80s now that Patrick Stewart has played Picard into his 90s or late 80s?
I think it's fucking. So here's the thing. I never had a problem with how old they got. In fact, I like the fact that they acknowledged that the TOS crew was getting old. It was one of the through lines for Shatner's character, for Kirk, is that he confront, not so much in the first one, but in the second one, he was complaining about feeling old. And that kind of followed him a little bit. And then finally we ended with them retiring. Kirk says out loud, we're too old for this, basically. Yeah. I'm too old for this shit. Can't we let someone else deal with the goddamn Klingons? Jesus. Spock, I'm retiring. God damn it. You have another 900 years left to live, you motherfucker, and you volunteered us for this? God damn it.
Scotty just bought a boat.
Stormed off. But here's the thing. The way they addressed Picard's age was fucking stupid. So they knew he was old in season 1 of Picard, but it's okay. He's now a robot. And and he gave him 10 more years to leave. Yay for the robot. Instead of acknowledging he's I mean, here's the thing. You could ask Shatner to do Star Trek right now, and he'd jump up, get on a bicycle, ride all the way there, and just be dancing around the set, because for whatever reason, he got the live forever juice, I think.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem to be aging much, and he's in his 90s.
Yeah.
But if you add Patrick Stewart to do it, he'd have to lay down on a board like goddamn Hannibal Lecter and be wheeled into the set, and they say, I'm doing it, but I must sit down. And they never acknowledged it. And I think part of it was because season 1 and season 2 of Picard were a vanity project, and we never wanted to admit that. But there was a reason why I said, I don't want any of my co-stars on the show. And it's like, that's all anyone wants. I don't care.
I want
it to end that I'm super great and that I have a robot body that lives forever. And then the next one, we're going to make up a whole bunch of abusive bullshit backstory for my character that adds nothing. That's it. They don't, and again, they don't address his age, and he falls in love with some woman at the end. Kinda? And that's dropped.
And then she gets fucking shot into the sun or something, and she's gone. Yeah.
And then in season 3, do they address his age at all?
No.
Not really.
No, he's just around. It turns out he has a son. It turns out he and Crusher fucked at some point. She was so disappointed by the sex, she ran off and had a baby someplace. At least with the TOS characters, we addressed that they were getting older. Yeah. We addressed that they were retiring. Scotty says, I just bought a boat. He didn't. He got lost in a thing and fell on a Dyson sphere. But at least they were acknowledging that they were retiring.
But that boat was back at his house waiting for him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Sulu had his own ship. Everyone who gives a shit about Chekhov. He's like, I have nothing planned for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, sorry, Chekhov. And just lock me up in the Enterprise when it's decommissioned. I don't care.
We forgot about you. That'd be funny.
I mean, what's your take on
Yeah.
it?
I mean, yeah, I do kind of wish that. I mean, I wish that they just hadn't done it. But if they were going to bring back the TNG cast for, a reunion special, which is basically what season 3 of Picard was, I mean, I do kind of wish they would have acknowledged their age as more than just a plot device, because they use it as a plot device of, well, only the old people are immune from the Borg assimilation.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, so it's
Because
just
why? Because it's convenient.
because it's an easy way to explain why the legacy characters are the only ones who can save the day. It's like, okay. But yeah, because the way it was handled in Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6, which were the two movies that really have the most to do with like the passage of time and acknowledging that, it was just done a lot more deftly, and it was actually worked into the story. Like, it was a part of what was happening. It wasn't just, oh, by the way, yeah, we noticed they're getting older. It was part of the story that they were telling. And the TNG characters never really got that. And I mean, by the time they could have done it in season 3 of Picard, I think it was already too late anyway, because if they were going to do it, they should have done it for one of the movies they did like 25 years ago, because it already could have been an issue then. But no, I mean, it doesn't seem, I don't think it's quaint. Like, I kind of judge everything on its own. I kind of judge everything on its own terms. I think the way it was handled in Star Trek 6 was excellent, but I don't think it reflects in any particular way on how it was done, with TNG later on. It just kind of is what it is. I mean, I think Star Trek 6 handled it a lot better,
Yeah. You guys got something?
I think that, I mean, for me, I think that, I mean, Star Trek 6 is one of my favorite Star Trek movies, if not the. So I think that it was handled really beautifully. I do appreciate, because Hollywood is allergic to aging in a lot of different ways, that showing people of middle to advanced age, I do appreciate that. I really do. But I think you also have to come at it with a sense of authenticity as well. And you can't just have a cop out. Like, I think I actually didn't mind season 1 of Picard. It had its problems, but overall it was fine for me. But the last episode, when he dies and everybody is wailing for like 10 minutes.
His fake death for
and
years.
It was just like, but then they that 10 minutes of wailing, and then they never resolved the plot for the villain of the story. And it was like, that was the vanity project, right? And I think that that's the problem. And then it's like, oh, well, you got a new body, but it's going to die in 10 years anyway. It was like, well, then why did you give him a new body?
Nothing's different, except you're not going to die right now.
Nothing's different. It's just anyway. Yeah. But I do appreciate that they did have people of like, not just all in their, I mean, nothing wrong with being in your 20s, but like at the same time, I do appreciate the progression of age. And that's why I think in the original series, the movies did it really beautifully,
Yeah. Look at, why did it take all the way up to Picard season 3 to actually believe that Deanna and Will had ever been married and had ever been in an actual relationship, and weren't just kind of slapped together because they were two people of a similar age on a show? I never believed in their marriage until season 3 of Picard.
Well, because it was when they actually finally got together in Star Trek Nemesis, that was, well, we can't think of anything else to do with them.
We want to have a wedding.
Except a wedding, and someone needs to sexually assault Troi again.
Yeah, and because that was supposed to be the last one. And it should have been. But that was supposed to be. Yeah, good.
The thing that comes to mind for me with aging is one of the things that makes it really difficult in Star Trek in particular to show characters aging is that one of the benefits to aging is increased experience and the expertise that comes with that.
But go ahead.
And so the problem is these characters were the brilliant and the best at what they did like 40 years previously in their lives. So showing that increased expertise, showing that they're even better at what they do now is really hard to do. So like if you watch Dick Van Dyke dancing, he's really good. Like he's really good. he doesn't have the same flexibility and strength that he did in his younger days, but he has more skill now than he did then, and he was good then. So like it comes to mind because I just watched one of those videos last night as I was just doom scrolling. I'm like, oh look, it's the kid Dyke, and he's learning a new dance from somebody, and he doesn't have like the extension and some, but he has this fluidity that the instructor doesn't have, even though they're a professional dancer. He's got this smoothness and ease to his movements that come from a lifetime of professional dance.
Yeah.
And so you can, I mean, because it's a visual medium, you can see this. And that's something that's really hard to get across, especially when it's something that involves adventures or technical know-how about stuff that doesn't actually exist. So it's really hard to do that.
One of the problems
I would love to see them come up with a story where these older characters are able to draw on lifetime, these decades of experience, and are brilliant at what they do in a way that the characters who are younger and are quicker at thinking and they have different things that they can bring to the table.
Yeah, but that's
really hard to
one
do
of the inherent problems with Star Trek is that they are afraid of aging. If you take a look at the history of Star Trek
in general,
and
I think society in general as well, we're afraid of aging because it reminds us that we're going to die.
Sure, but I mean, in Star Trek, in this utopia where everyone has worth and value, very often it is the older admirals that have gone batshit crazy.
That's right.
Or have decided to take rejuvenation pills to make them young. Or when Kirk, Spock, and McCoy start getting old, they get batty in TOS.
Yeah.
Or, they pay lip service to, oh, yes, there's worth and experience. But we've not had a single character on the show of advanced age anywhere. Except maybe the doctor in the cage. There hasn't been someone
true. He was old,
of advanced age, or at least, in their 70s or in their 60s, that, everyone's, oh, well, Picard was... Patrick Stewart was 49 when he got the role of Captain Picard. He had a lot of good years. I'm talking about someone who is older, who has a good deal of experience, that could, very much like in the cage. The doctor in the cage was Pike's confidant. One of the first things he does is he shows up with a medical bag and he pours drinks for him and Pike.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't see that relationship. If we value everyone and their contribution, where are these people?
Yeah.
Fucking nowhere.
And especially, where are these female people? Where are the women who are of advanced age? I'd love to see Helen Mirren in Star Trek.
Hell yeah. And there's,
that'd
I
be
would
awesome.
say,
or Whoopi Goldberg again, but like of course it's difficult with Guinan because she's not human, unfortunately. But
she was in season 3 of Picard, or season 2 of Picard. I think she mostly escaped season 3.
Oftentimes when they get women who are competent in Star Trek, they are enemies.
Well, like the Admiral
they can change
in
that.
season 1 of Picard.
Yeah.
Who told
Tamlin
Picard
Tamita, yeah.
Fuck
no,
off.
not Tamlin Tamita, the other, Admiral, what's her name?
In season 1, the one that told him where the fucking hubris or whatever.
The fucking
that's
hubris.
the one.
Admiral Nechayev is always showing up saying, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but I think
Buzzkill.
The Admiral, it's the higher authority, or not like, the person in a position of power. Some of that isn't just aging, it's also the role of an authority figure.
I actually think they gave it, so 2 comments real quick. They did give it lip service in Deep Space Nine when Julian was turning gasp 30, remember? And he's talking to Garrick. And he's like, I'm getting so old. And Garrick's like, what's wrong with you humans? Like, why are you so allergic to getting old? And like, kind of, he's like, that's not the same in Cardassia. But again, both of the actors were relatively young anyway.
Yeah.
But then I do feel, and maybe this is my DS9 fangirling, but I do feel like as Sisko goes along, there's more gravitas given to the character. Like as he actually ages, both in real life and on screen, he does come across as more like, I've learned from my experience. I don't know. Maybe that's my interpretation.
And let's not forget,
the show sort of developing its strength, I think.
Yeah.
The only older woman character, and I only bring this up to upset Steve to no end, is Lwaxana Troi.
and that goes to your argument, see, because she's the worst character ever.
Self-possessed woman
she's an enemy.
give a shit what people think about her. Steve, Mr.
Self-possessed.
Feminist, has a problem with her.
I don't have a problem with confident, self-possessed women. I have a problem with television characters that make
The
me want
only
to beat my
confident,
TV to
self-possessed
death.
woman on Star Trek.
If a character makes me want to put a fucking baseball bat through the screen of my TV, then I don't like that character. I don't care if they're an empowered woman or not.
It's
there's
okay,
lots of
Steve. We know
empowered,
all about you at this point.
there's
Here's the
lots of
thing, here's the
empowered
thing.
women
The
characters
problem
that I
It's
is-
don't.
fine. Yeah,
that I,
your favorite director is Charlie Chaplin, and you hate Loxana Troi. Whatever.
The problem with Loxana Troi is that she's not insulting Steve. Steve can handle, confident, self-assured women
That's true.
as long as they're insulting him.
Dana,
and as long as they
can
respect.
he?
And as
Oh, yeah.
long as they
Can
listen,
he?
why does everybody ignore the fact that Loxana Troi doesn't respect anybody's boundaries?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She doesn't
what?
respect anybody's boundaries ever.
Oh, boo-hoo, you big vagina.
But
Just
and
nut
with
up with the thing.
everybody who apologizes for that character, they always say like, "Oh, but she shows people that they don't have to be afraid to be themselves. They can just let their freak flag fly. Like that's great." She doesn't respect anybody's boundaries ever.
No. Yeah.
She's a horrible person within the
Neither
bounds
do
of the within the. That's true. You really need to stop showing up in the middle of the night
Yeah,
and just
shut the
crawling into
fuck
bed
up,
with me.
okay?
I
We're
told you
done.
not to do that. Hey, okay. Let me get a few more quick questions, and then we'll
All right.
wrap up. Then we'll wrap up the show because a few more questions have trickled into the
Okay,
chat
good.
as we've been raving.
All
Sure.
about Loxana Troi.
I said we're going to be done in an hour, and it's now been an
Yeah.
hour and
Okay,
almost an hour and a half.
Amanda, who's hotter, Tom or Will?
Tom,
Obviously. Will Steve ever serve Tranya at Ponchos?
I hope
Yes.
It's possible he already has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible that he's come up with,
I think it would be if Amanda
yeah.
like dealt with the Tranya dealer and was like, "Oh, this is great," and like just
At
starts
this
serving
point,
it.
the secret of Tranya should be out, right? It should be out at this point.
It's kind of like how Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it, but no longer does. Maybe Tranya is like,
Hey, can he serve Coca-Cola with cocaine in it? I'd be all for that.
Live news here, people.
Yeah. Okay. Code Monkey says, I understand why it's more complicated to do now, but looking back at the DS9 episodes so far, is there one where you wish you could have done something, but it didn't work?
Oh, what was the question?
Like in terms of having, like, I guess having one of our episodes like crossover more directly with the DS9 episode that it corresponded to. Like, was there something that we could have done something but we didn't?
Nothing that jumps to mind right now.
Yeah.
It's our show and the DS9 shows are going to become more interconnected as we proceed forward. But it really is just the nature of, as always, I have to watch the episode and see where do we fit in this.
Mhm.
How well can our characters engage with it? And so if it's something that's left open and we can engage with it, that's great. But DS9 literally is less the alien of the week, which was kind of the case with TNG and kind of the case with TOS, because we really get fixated on the Dominion, and there's some Klingon stuff in there. It's all known quantity, so we're gonna have to become more creative as far as how we're going to interlace DS9 with our stuff. So
yeah. Let me see. Oh, Surrandom Geek asked, which is the better movie, Star Trek 2 or Empire Strikes Back?
I've watched Star Trek 2 more, so I have to say Star Trek 2.
I've watched Star Trek 2 more as well, but I actually think Empire's a better movie. Yeah. What do you think, Amanda?
I got to go with 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2 votes for Dana. Have you even seen Star Trek 2?
I've seen pieces of it.
So by default, you're an Empire vote.
I love Empire Strikes Back, but when you boil Empire Strikes Back down, what's it saying about anything? It's just another adventure story.
But it's a really good one.
It's a really great one.
It's a really great one, but when you break down Wrath of Khan, you're talking about people getting older, people feeling useful. That was one of the main things about that, feeling youthful, feeling alive, and contending with things that happened in your past.
I would say, if that's an important message, but I would also say that Empire says that even when you defeat fascism, that doesn't mean you're done. You have to keep fighting.
No,
Yeah.
I don't
And
believe
you
it.
might not.
Where's the real world proof of
What are you
that?
talking about?
Where's the end point for fighting fascism? God damn it!
We
And you may
finished.
end up with a down ending. That's
Yeah.
we've been hearing. I mean, I've been hearing about that since Clerks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so realistic. It's a down ending.
Yeah, I love
Oh, by
Empire
the
Strikes
way,
Back, but-
Code Monkey, I think it was Code Monkey, is right. There is an old woman on Strange New Worlds. That's Pella. the
Yeah,
engineer.
Pelia, the new
Okay, yeah.
Carol
Mhm.
Kane. Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
wonderful. She's excellent.
I know who
Great.
that is.
And if you want to get technical about it, the engineer on that fucking show that Steve liked, fucking the my mind is gone.
That fucking show that Steve
That
liked. Go on.
fucking show with Michael Burnham, and it should have just been called
Oh,
Michael
Discovery.
Burnham the
Discovery.
Show.
Yes.
Discovery, yeah.
You mean Tig Notaro?
Yeah, Tig Notaro. Although
she's
she's
not, I mean,
technically
she's not
my
that
age.
old. She's middle
She's not
aged.
that
She's not
old.
like an old lady. But anyway, but I mean, Tig Notaro is great. I wish they had done more with her on the show.
Yeah.
Travis Coyle says, "Are there any new shows coming out, or are we going into another Trek Dark Age?" Well,
I think we're
no.
going into another dark age.
No, we're not.
We've
There's
been
three
in a
more.
dark age for a long time.
There's 3 more seasons of Strange New Worlds coming out,
Mhm.
including season 3 that starts, I think, later this week. There's Starfleet Academy coming out that they're shooting right now, and there's still the Tawny Newsome comedy show that is in development. So there's at least 3 shows, one of which is coming out like later this week with a new season, and 2 of
And
which
there's
are
the
in the
Ensign's
pipeline.
log.
And there's our show.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. I don't think there's any kind of dark. And the other thing, in this era where studios are latching on to any established intellectual property they can, Paramount's not going to let Star Trek go into a dark
They
age.
can't
Paramount,
afford
they
it.
may avoid giving us a glut.
yeah,
And sort of spread it out more. I think is a
Mhm.
smarter business decision.
yeah. Well, because like I saw someone online the other day said, "Oh, I'm really glad that the new Superman movie is doing well, because if this one had failed, it might have been a long time before we got another DC Comics movie." I was like, "Are you fucking nuts?" They're like, "Oh yeah, they're Warner Brothers of all studios is they're just gonna let it, they're just gonna put it down and not touch it." What the fuck are you talking about?
They're
They're
making Harry Potter
yeah,
again.
they're gonna beat. If this Superman had failed, they would have found a way to start it over as soon as possible, and they would have gone
Mhm.
right back to it and tried again, because they would beat this dead horse no matter what. So no. Okay. Stephen G. Clenard says, "I wonder why Loaxana never showed up on Voyager. Janeway got all of Picard's other hand-me-down nemesis."
Well, I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to try to get Loaxana Troi onto Voyager? What they would have to come up with to get her on Voyager? And the only thing I could come up with is the Doctor accidentally activates a hologram program with Loaxana Troi, and because she becomes self-aware.
Or Q brings her just to like mess with
Well,
Janeway.
yeah, Q brings her
Just
for no reason. There's Loaxana Troi.
to punish the crew and us.
to punish you specifically.
To
Yeah.
punish me specifically.
Mhm. I hope that they develop Loxana, the series, played
Me
by
too.
a different actress, of course. But
Well, you know what? And if it turns out as good as the last time they recast one of Majel Barrett's characters, I'll be all for it. Because Jess Bush as Nurse Chapel on Strange New Worlds is fucking fantastic. Because
she's not bad. She's
because
not
here's here's the 2 big differences. A, she can fucking act, and B, they actually write her as a character instead of just, like wallpaper pining for Spock in the background like she was in TOS.
Yeah,
think about that?
that's yeah.
Okay, shall we Steven says, "Is actual Loaxana Troi self-aware?" I mean, I think it's an open question. Shall we call the festivities to a close then?
Let's call the festivities to a close. I'm about to get dizzy and pass out. Guys,
Okay.
the next season is going to be about 2 weeks. I have to take a vacation with my father. We're traveling to South Dakota Oh
For a
boy.
vacation?
Yay.
Yeah, and it's my dad. He's paying for it. He wants to do it, I guess, before he dies.
The cradle
Is
of
drag
civilization,
all
South
of his
Dakota.
sons to South Dakota. Population 1,000. The nearest McDonald's is 75 miles away. Can you imagine living in Webster and going, "Hey, let's go to McDonald's," and having to plan
It's
an
like
hour
an
and a
all-day
half
trip.
drive? You better bring the kids, and they better play in the fucking ball pit. They still have them. I don't know.
If you have to
Kids, by
drive
the time you get there,
75,
your kids are too old to go in the ball pit.
Yeah.
if you have to drive 75 miles to get to the fucking place, there better be a goddamn ball pit.
There better be, people there to fillet you when you order.
I'm jumping
because
in
I
the ball
don't-
pit.
No, but that's it. So a couple more weeks, and then we'll start. I have to come back from vacation, and then we'll start. A little later start. As I said, I'm having some health stuff, but that shouldn't. If I die, Steve knows what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Ananda will take it over.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
We-
I'll live on without me. You
Jason's
can now.
Jason and Tina are living happily in the future.
They're fine.
And they're fine, and we'll never see them again ever. So don't.
I
ask.
just leave a note. Dear Steve, not your friend anymore. Goodbye.
You know what you did, and then like the rest of that season is
You
Steve
know, and
trying to
then
figure out what he
Is
did.
Steve trying to figure out what he did to drive Jason away? All right, that's
All right.
it, guys. Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
watching, and be prepared for the next ones because so many of these guys on screen right now are gonna fucking die.
Not me.
Not Dana. She's gone. Well, she's
Dana's
dead to
gonna be
us.
eaten alive by the dolphins. How about
I'll
that?
just be,
Yeah, there we go.
I'll die off screen.
There you go.
Mhm.
Or
Okay.
not really screen, off mic, I guess.
Mike.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Total
All right.
bloodbath, Ponchos.
Bye, everybody. See you next
Bye,
season.
everybody.